There comes a time when I just wonder, do I have a deck of cards that can read as dark as what these people are? In my opinion, of course. The answer is no, and it's because I really don't want a dark deck of cards. I think we can accomplish what we need to with what we have. I've chosen a few decks. You know me, we're not going to leave any stone or any card unturned. Here we are again, my darlings, and you know we are. Welcome. It is actually midnight. It is the early morning of August 8th, 2025. I am Lady Zelda, and this has been eating at me ever since, I believe it's Judge Corrupt, yes, and Lally and Proctor. Now, I've gotten some messages from some of you that want to know about Lally. I do too. But who also tell me, well, you know, Proctor doesn't look like he's haunted. Well, fortunately for us, we're not with him during the early morning hours. You've heard of Chris Watts. He says that his little children visit him in his cell. And when it first started happening, he begged to be released. He begged, but that is his sentence. Proctor's not done yet. Neither are the rest of them. I want to look into Lally. I want to ask, what is happening with him? What will happen with him? What we can expect from this judge, because I believe this judge did a complete 180, and we'll see. All right, I have the Malefique, Lenormand, the House of Zelda. Boy, they are really expanding these days. They've been doing a lot of work. Look at how bouncy. You probably can't see it, but they are like, whoa. What lies beneath? And we have our old friend, the Cartomancy deck, in which we are going to make some room. Do you see anything? Oh, I do. Oh, my. It looks like a deer. For me, it's right here is the bottom jaw. Right here is the snout, the little nose. Here, this is an eye and an ear and an ear. Now, it could be a dog. But a deer is a spirit animal that is gentle, that can come through. And the fact that it's looking to the left, well, it means that there's some shenanigans going on. And recognizably so. Starting out with the House of Zelda. Now I'm asking, give us the foundation. Give us a foundation of what really is happening with this abrupt end to the hearing and the delays. Give us an idea. Of course, we're in Mercury retrograde still, pardon me, until the 11th. We have 3 more days. This is the gut punch time, my darlings. We can't help it. It is. All right. All right. I think we've got enough energy here. Let's see. Lay out the first card. Loss. Missing information. Well, that is... I don't need to be a card reader to know that one, do we? But this is confirmation. The key to unlock information. All right, so we're going to ask what the key is. What is the key to unlock the information? Unless we need to go on and finish that row. Well, we're going to finish this row first. Let me move these fellows over here. Laying out one more card. The universe knows the truth. Certainly does. Oof. I just got an impression of a snake to my left as well. Justice is coming. Look at the balance, the scales of justice. Pardon me, you're going to hear my son maybe in the background. It's not a ghost. Travel. I think Auntie Bev was traveling. But there's some things coming. What key to unlock? What is the key to unlock the information? What is the key? What is the key? Oh, there's a card upside down. Let's take that. Poetic justice is coming. I don't read these in reverse. They're not made to be read in reverse. Poetic justice. I think it was wanting me to recognize that card. I laid it out for that reason. Let me fix this. Maybe. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is something. Okay. The reason I said that is because I just heard a cough. It was not my son. It was in another room. That indicates that there's something going on. A burning desire, poetic justice is coming. All right, so let's get another deck here. My darlings, let me fix my camera. I'll be right back. Oh, that's so much better, isn't it? All right. I thought things looked a little close. Now we can spread out a little bit more. But I'm glad you were able to see the cards. Okay, here we are. Trash. Throwing away. So we've got loss, trash, throwing away, a lot. So evidence, missing information. So things are definitely missing. And I think some things have been, in my opinion, destroyed. Let's see what comes out. Tired of the drama. I'm sure Lally is. I'm sure Lally is. Who isn't at this point? This is certainly something that I'm positive in saying that he does not enjoy being dragged out. Total drama action. Now, okay, I'm going to give you my thought on that. We're going to lay out one more. Anyway, dragged out in front of the entire world. Check yourself. That means make sure you've got everything in line. That is something that Lally has not done. Total drama action. Now, he didn't take the action, but this card intrigues me because I'm wondering, just like a movie, just like what's on John's headstone, it's only a movie. It is being, I mean, obviously there's going to be, I wonder who's going to play Lally in the movie. With the baby shark cut, haircut, right? Let's grab a couple of these cards and then we'll really get into it. Clover. Oh, I'm sorry. Tower. Ooh. Clouds. King. That represents the judge. Settlement. Settling. This is a legal card. A change in the situation. A change is coming, a change in structure. Having a new idea, we're all getting an education from this, but learning what can come next. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Obviously, the CW, the DA's office in Norfolk County, is not taking this seriously, and perhaps not seriously enough. Justice definitely is coming. But these 3 cards here we go. Look out, Zelda's messing the table. The clover to the tower to the cards. Dark cards, you see that? And that's no silver lining around those cards. But this is intriguing. There's clover. So I believe that the CW was thinking that they've got it made, that they've got things covered, that they've got good luck on their end. But the tower comes in. And with these other particular cards, with missing information, the key information, burning desire, can be just wanting to get this over with. Not going to be over with for a little while. Drama, but the clouds. So there's heaviness hanging over. The tower basically says this was not built on a very good foundation. It can fall and tumble. I need to see something. Okay. So tell us, does the judge have a preconceived idea of what he will do? I think Rosemary does. No, she knows that. Okay. Here we are. Haunted by the past. Proctor definitely is. But you know, I believe Lally is to a certain degree. Maybe not in the way that we think. This is going to come up to bite him pretty badly in the hiney. And at some point, there's only so much that a judge can heal and do constitutionally. Let me think. I am not a lawyer, but my questions would be, based on the information of this hearing, if it doesn't go the way that the defense wants for Miles King, could they appeal it at this stage, since they've not gotten into a trial yet? See, I don't know. When we get our beautiful guest, Attorney Melanie Little, on the show, we're going to ask her that. How far can the judge go to save this situation? How far? It's all about timing. Okay. So I'm going to ask it again. Will the judge go to great lengths to save Lally? Because Lally's on the hot seat. I mean, Proctor, we already know. Lally, there's a pathway ahead. So the judge is making, based on this now, entertainment purposes only, the cards, in my opinion, a pathway ahead. He's deciding to take a pathway ahead, and it's all about timing. So is he waiting? Is the judge waiting for a particular situation to happen? Will there be something like a signal? You know the signals, the coughs, Detective law enforcement. Okay, so there's going to be something with the law enforcement that triggers the judge. Is it Trooper Proctor? Most likely. However, it can be others that are going to be associated with Proctor as well. How interesting is this? Will Lally maintain and retain his job as an ADA? Will he be with the general's office? A man. So I'm going to take that as Morrissey. Question is still open. Abandoned. So will Morrissey abandon Lally like he has abandoned the McAlberts? Has he abandoned Proctor? Because I think they were rubbing elbows. So is Proctor? I believe Proctor is abandoned, but will Lally be abandoned? Is it Lally? Will things not go very well? Will Lally be pulled off cases? It's time to look closer. Okay. What I really don't feel will happen is that whatever happens to Lally, they will not make a big spectacle of it. Because they want to keep that swept under the rug, hoping that time will heal the wound. Because people will be looking close at this. Will Lally lose his job? A childlike new beginning. So I think that Lally is there's going to be a different pathway ahead for him. But I don't think he's going to lose his job. I hate to tell you that. I don't think they're going to come out the way they should and say, look, Lally, you've been a real jerk. You didn't do your job. It's time to do the right thing. However, will they do it? Now, the other thing when I said signals, I don't know if you noticed this. Wealth and abundance. So he will be keeping his pension. So they're not going to let him go. They may reassign him. The other day when we were all watching the hearing together, I don't know if you noticed the sighs and the huffing and puffing that Lally did when he was on the stand. If you didn't recognize it, go back and look. Pardon me, because I'm like, holy moly. Are they sending signals? This was an Auntie Bev thing. I'm not going to make this too long, my darlings. Contact is coming to you. Now, that doesn't mean you or I. That means to Lally. He's under scrutiny. He definitely is, for sure. Let's get a couple of cards before we have to say goodbye. Whoa. That came out fast. The Moon card and an anchor. Well, the Moon card represents the Moon card, just like the tarot, but it's also Piscean. And since I'm not reading the tarot proper, this is the only way sometimes the universe can give us an indication of somebody that they're talking about, and that's Karen Reed. She's the Moon card. She's a Piscean. But the anchor shows that they're digging in. They've not set sail. They're going to be laying down that anchor. You can tell I'm not a boater. And that keeps them from drifting and floating and helps them to watch. Definitely, listen, I can tell you the two cases because the anchor just may be Turtle Boy's case. We've got Karen Reed, we've got Turtle Boy. Each one very, very important. Question of the century. Are they trying to hide something so that Turtle Boy and that Karen cannot use it? I don't know if you noticed, but in Karen Reed's trial, season 2, it seemed as though they kept delaying things like Proctor, or they kept delaying things like whatever. You know, they waited until, because listen, I am totally convinced that if she were convicted in first season trial, he would never have been fired. And it feels like they are pushing this envelope again and waiting on what happens now with the Turtle Boy case, with Karen Reed's new cases, the cross. Okay, so there's a divine higher power above this, definitely. Why wouldn't there be? We have to beg the question, why would there not be? This is just a simple between right and wrong, good and evil. Game over. Yeah, buddy. I do believe eventually game over for Lally, not right away. I do believe game over for Proctor. I do not believe Proctor will get his job back. The court of public opinion, Colonel Noble will be crucified, and he doesn't want that. Proctor's a liability any way you stretch it. But Lally, because here's the thing, if Proctor gets his job back, how tough is that going to be? Because the people that have been incarcerated, that Lally and Proctor have investigated and have done a shoddy job and put these people, I'm sure there's people that are innocent because they have focused in on somebody that they just wanted to be guilty, just like Karen, just like Turtle Boy. So, my dear, look at this way. Something will eventually happen. Lally will be out of there. He will lose his situation. But right now, I don't see they're going to make a spectacle of it. They're going to push this out as long as they can. And believe me, Rosemary, she don't play. She's not playing. You know, I've sat and thought about this. What's really worse? Having corruption on the justice side and not giving somebody a fair trial, whether guilty or innocent? Because, you know, supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but it's been backwards. So what if Miles King was let go without prejudice? I think that's what they're saying. I know you'll correct me if I'm wrong. But what if he was released and they cannot come back at him? That's my point. And recharge him again. I mean, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Will the Commonwealth stand up and take notice to this? No, I don't think it'll even bother them. They'll target him again and they'll bring him on something else. And I'm sure that something else probably would happen because, you know, sometimes when releases happen like this, people get a little cocky and they feel so free that they end up making mistakes. Let's hope that no one else loses their life. Keep watchman, my darlings. That's all I got to say. This is it for now. Join me Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, Lionsgate Portal. That is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Eastern is America, New York time. I'll see you there. We're not going to stop talking about this. Not at all. But it's amazing to me that Turtle Boy and Karen's case come up. Yeah, keep fighting. See you soon.